afternoon. Welcome back to our Finance, Audit, and Budget Committee meeting. This is Commissioner Ted Terry, the chair, joined by committee members Commissioner Michelle Long-Spears and Commissioner Shakira Johnson. Commissioners, we have our agenda before us, and we'll start out with our meeting minutes, item 1643 from the October 28th meeting. If there's no edits or changes, I'll open the floor for motion.
Move to approve item 1643.
Second.
Motion and second. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. All right, let's go to agenda items first. Item 1655. This is to amend the FY 2025 operating budget to appropriate funding to address critical infrastructure repairs to the DeKalb County Jail. And I believe Mr. Williams has an updated, or I guess it is in the agenda item. There's no substitutes, correct? What we have in here is what we are looking at?
Yes, what we have is what we would like to present for approval, and we have had a number of conversations with the sheriff and her team beginning back in, I want to say June, when she came before FAB with a request. What we have done is we've gone through the various requests and determined that these items before you are those most critical and really represent a down payment, if you will, into a capital strategy and a capital plan to address various issues at the jail. So what you'll see, and these are critical, and we did kind of a triage. The roof repairs, what we're looking to do is basically seal, I believe, 3 of the roofs to stop leaking. Then you have elevator repairs. That one is somewhat obvious because of the safety associated with elevators in a jail and ensure that they are working. The jail locks, this is replacing a certain number of locks, a certain type and number of locks, and that too is much more obvious as to why we need to do that. And this is part of a strategy, a multi-year, all of this, quite frankly, is part of a multi-year strategy to address various issues in the jail. This toilet and sinks, replacing over 1,500 toilets and sinks. It's a combination unit. Lights, this is replacing 197 cell light fixtures because lighting, of course, is very important. And then there's an area where there's wood that has been placed that we really need to take down and repair that, just because it's, not a best practice to have.
And that's in the mental health area?
Right, yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, commissioners, any questions or comments?
Just a brief comment. So thank you very much for championing this project, Commissioner Terry and CO Williams. I believe that this is a sound investment. I think that our jail probably needs a lot more than this, but if this is what you've prioritized where we should invest ASAP in, I'm certainly in support of it. Thank you. Yield back.
Okay.
I'd also like to echo that. I did a tour of the jail, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, and these items on this list do highlight the more critical items that they also showed me during the tour, so I appreciate you bringing this forward to us, Mr. COO. I yield.
All right, thank you. And then just a quick clarification for the 1,500 toilets. So I know that in the past the sheriff has explained that some of the toilets are porcelain and that they can be basically broken and used as weapons. So these are all metal. That's correct. Sink units.
This is part of the strategy to replace those with metal. Yes.
Okay. And the 1,534. These so presumably these are 1,534 occupied cells, or is this every toilet in the jail?
No, this is not every toilet in the jail.
Okay.
Yes, and so. On a given day, these may or may not be occupied cells, but she will have the ability with this investment to move inmates around, and ultimately inmates will be in these cells that have the metal toilets.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is just cover to make sure we have full capacity in terms of the units and then the which wings they're in. Okay.
Okay.
And some already have mail. That's right. So these are probably the remaining ones, I imagine. But anyway, we just give us an update.
There will be more.
There will be more.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be more. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the heads up. Yes, Commissioner Long-Spears.
Thank you. As Commissioner Johnson was reminiscing on her tour of the jail, I was on mine as well in 2023, I believe, with Commissioner Terry. So jail locks, vendor cornerstone, $1.5 million. the Folger Adams locks, what percentage of those locks were at the jail? I remember now when the sheriff did show us the different types of locks.
Yes, Commissioner, off the top of my head, I don't know, but I'll be able to have the answer by the end of this meeting. I just need to look back through my notes.
If
See
I
what
recall,
percentage.
at some point she needs to replace all the locks, but this is the oldest type of lock, is that right?
Right, so we have been on a lock replacement for the past few years, but ultimately we do need to upgrade all of the locks. But, there's a number of wings that have already been done.
Okay.
So what today represents is really a more comprehensive strategy where we're bringing multiple items that need to be addressed at the jail,
Sure.
but anticipate seeing items much like this for the next few years.
So my tour was in the spring of 2023, so that does sync with what you're saying. And so the goal is to have all, I remember her just saying,
Right.
we really need our locks updated. It was
Absolutely.
one of her big requests
Absolutely.
during the tour. So I guess our hope is to have all the locks replaced by when?
It's going to be a couple more years.
Okay.
And I'll get you the exact, but expect another request in 26 and probably 27.
Okay, and funding sources for previous requests?
All of these will be general fund.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Understood. Yield back.
All right, if there's no further questions or comments, open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion is second. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right, next is item 1445. This is the renewal for uniforms for DeKalb County's Marshal's Office. This is the first renewal of 2 options to renew. Contract consists of providing uniforms for Marshal's Office personnel. Request seeks to ratify a previously provided contract term increase. It also seeks to exercise the first renewal option through August 31st, 2026, awarded to Galls LLC and Dana Safety Supply. Total amount not to exceed $180,000. And Marshall Richardson,
Good afternoon,
you're here.
Commissioners. This is simply just a request to renew our contract with Dana Galls to provide uniforms and supplies.
Okay. All right, Commissioners, any questions, comments?
Nope. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right, next also is for the Marshal's Office. This is renewal of contract number 1365832, law enforcement accessories, second renewal of 2 options to renew. This is used by police services and Marshal's Office. This is for various law enforcement accessories. Request seeks to increase contract funds for the remaining term through January 31st, 2026. It also requests to exercise the second renewal option through January 31st, 2027, awarded to Dana Safety Supply, amount not to exceed $358,000. Marshall.
This is the same request. Basically, I'm here for PD and myself this time, but it's
Okay, it's for PD and
uniforms and
Marshalls.
supplies.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are the accessories exactly?
Well, with Galls is usually uniforms, and then Dana Safety will be our body armor
Gotcha.
and weapons and things of that nature.
Okay, all right. Commissioners, any questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Marshall. All right, next we have item 1520. This is the sole source prosecutor case management software services for use by Office of the Solicitor General. Consists of the provision of the prosecutor by Carpel PBK case management system, including installation, companion services, and annual subscription. This purchase allows for the additional sharing of digital evidence and case information between agencies, as well as integration with several of the county's law enforcement databases to leverage previously entered witness information. This request seeks to ratify previously provided services and seek approval to establish a 2-year agreement for continued operations of case management system services awarded to Carpel Computer Systems, doing business as Carpel Solutions, amount not to exceed $392,837. And Solicitor Coleman Stribling, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And thank you all for having us here today. We actually brought this before this body earlier this year, and it
I
was.
remember this. I was
You
actually
remember-
about to look it up.
There we
Yes.
go. So this is the exact same thing. This is a company that we have been talking to for now almost 2 years to ensure that we have a efficient and accurate case management system that will be internal for our office. It will allow us to pull our cases faster, ensure that we're getting all the information and the data together so we can move forward with our accusations in all of those cases. Brandon McMurray is here from my office. He's my IT person. He spoke before, and I will ask him just to give you a brief overview of the system.
So Prosecutor Carpel is a system designed by prosecutors for prosecutors. It has efficient e-discovery purposes for serving discovery for cases, handling digital evidence among the system, and also better statistics reporting for our internal cases, and better note-taking and better collaboration among the different units among the team. Currently, we have Tracker, which is provided by the state, currently at a free of charge. Tracker has been beneficial, but it's kind of behind the times, and right now we're just trying to move forward and make sure our office is more efficient and effective to not only serve just the defendants and the victims, but the community overall.
Carpel is a system, as he stated, that is designed by prosecutors for prosecutors. This company has been around since the 1980s. They are operating in 33 states, and if I'm correct, it's over 500 other prosecution offices. So it is a well-oiled machine. Like I said, we've been speaking to them for almost 2 years, and we look forward to working with them.
And also, we'll be the first in the state of Georgia. So we'll be the first county to adopt Carpel in the state of Georgia as well.
Okay.
I do want to add one thing, because one thing gets really confusing. This is not for the overall court system. This will simply be for my particular office.
Right.
In addition to this, there's also a digital management system that is not Carpel. So that's completely separate. You've seen that in some other documents. I want to make sure that that's clear.
Okay.
This is just for the internal case management system.
Okay.
Does that help?
Sure. Yeah, that's great. I wasn't worried too much about it, but committee members, any questions, comments?
No, I remember our lengthy discussion earlier this year, so yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, comments?
No, sir.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Motion is second. All in favor? Raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Okay. All right. So those are all of the contracting items. We have 3 previously heard items. So let's just go in order here. So first is to amend the FY25 budget to establish the Office of Legislative Counsel and authorize the hiring of legislative counsel. Commissioners, we did, no, I only have one copy. Here, pass this around. This is it's green, but it should be a redlined version of potential changes to consider on the original resolution. And I'm not sure if Commissioner Long-Spears had a chance to review that, but this is your item, so we'll defer to you to speak on this.
Commissioner Terry, could we take the other 2 items and then circle back to this one? Give me a quick minute. I did look at it briefly, but on my computer screen, it's more helpful now that I can see track changes.
Oh, they're right there. Okay. All right, so let's come back. Okay. All right, so the next one, item 1506, is to approve a resolution to ensure the county's judges receive the same benefits as judges of the Superior Court of the DeKalb Judicial Circuit, county employees, and judges in other counties. And I believe County Attorney Linkus has an update, if you could share with the committee, on outside counsel that is reviewing this item and hopefully a potential timeline of when we can get back an opinion through that work.
Yes, sir. Outside counsel has been doing work on this. They have communicated frequently with our office that they're assembling materials and drafting the memo and opinion, that sort of thing. So we should be able to get something to you before the last meeting of the year.
Okay, great. And so the last meeting is December 16th, and I believe we will have another FAB meeting before then. I think December 9th actually is the next scheduled That's our last. We only have one more FAB meeting, don't we? Officially scheduled. Is that right? On the 9th? Yeah, I think we're going to do a special call, committee members, so we'll talk about that before we adjourn. Okay, so County Attorney Linkus, could we have the analysis back by the December 9th FAB committee meeting?
I'll do everything possible to get that word through to him and to get him to give us something by then.
Okay, great. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this particular item? Okay. All right, so seeing none, I'll open the floor for a motion.
I move to defer the item until the December 16th BOC meeting with the prior stop and FAB.
Second.
All right, motion second. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right. Next item is item 1508, a resolution requesting administration implement water and wastewater service shutoff protections and pause all payment plans issued by the Finance Department during the interim period while the Urban League of Greater Atlanta is establishing the DeKalb Customer Advocate's Office. I believe Mr. Williams, the Urban League, is launching the Customer Advocate team soon. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So, and would you mind sharing when that might be?
Actually, they brought on the staff early October. They've gotten them trained, and I believe they're in a position now to begin accepting disputed cases.
Okay.
So, yeah, the 3 members of the team, or there's 2 members and then the supervisor, have been in place for the past month. They've gotten trained, and so that's ready to go.
Okay. And I think we were hoping to get an update from the Urban League at this committee, but we're quite ready, I think.
Right.
So do we
right.
want to?
Unfortunately, there was scheduling conflict, and ultimately, I guess we didn't realize that we were going to present it this week. But we're prepared.
Okay.
We can bring Urban League back at your convenience. It's just that
Okay.
they had a scheduling conflict for today. But there's 2 things that I would love to do. Is one, give an update on the progress that has been made with the RAP assistance program.
Okay.
Also talk about the customer advocate and that role. And then we can also address the issues that are laid out in the 2 resolutions and how we're addressing each of those. Because I think, quite frankly, we are dealing with all of those issues, or virtually all of those issues.
Yeah, and I think that's important. So, committee members, I want to bring this up now because we got to plan ahead. We only have one scheduled FAB meeting left on the calendar, which is December 9th, which means we probably need to do a special call at some point before then, and I don't think we want to do Thanksgiving week. So would y'all be open for a special call meeting next week, either Monday or Wednesday? And then that would hopefully
All right.
inform our deferral on this
So the
item.
17th or the 19th?
Mhm.
19th is better for me. We could do it maybe after the fire rescue holiday lunch, if that's possible.
I'm flexible for that.
Maybe 1:30 or so. What do you think, an hour for the special call?
We might have to talk about budget requests, so it might need an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, okay.
What time do you think?
1:30 to 3, could you pull that off?
Possible.
And Madam Commissioner Long-Spears, I need to talk to Chief Fulham. So the holiday lunch is when again? Because I need to get...
12
12
to 1
until 1 at
on the
Exchange
19th.
Place, yes.
Yeah.
I would
Zach
like
will
to
be
go.
there. You got to walk there, though.
Oh, is that it? Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay, well, we'll
I'm
work
flexible, honestly, y'all. I'm flexible for any time after that luncheon.
Okay. All right, so that's good. So just for this agenda item, if we could just defer this to the December 9th meeting with a stop at a to-be-determined special call FAB meeting.
Thank you. And if we could take both of those, the related items.
Well, I don't think we have the water bill of rights.
Okay, well, we'll be prepared to talk
But,
to both
yeah.
of those at that meeting.
Oh, where is that? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, so we'll take both of those. If you can take motion for both of those items for that,
To
the-
December 16th.
the
Ninth.
9th.
This time I move to defer items 1508 and 1525 until the December 9th BOC meeting with the prior stop and FAB.
I'm sorry, 15. what is it?
08
Uh-huh.
and 1525.
Okay, second.
Okay, motion and second. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor, Jan, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries.
And if you want to circle back, sir, to item top of page 3, 1534, I am ready to make a motion on that.
Okay, you don't want to discuss it, you want to defer
Whatever
it?
you want to do.
Okay, well, have you all had a chance to review?
I have.
Okay, Commissioner Johnson, we have a few minutes to talk about it.
I think it would be good to discuss the changes.
Okay, would you like to do that right now?
Sure. Yeah, they're pretty straightforward to me.
Okay, Commissioner Longspire, do you want to lead that discussion?
Yeah, I think also if Mr. Welch would come to the podium. So again, this item is a 3-way co-sponsored item between myself, Commissioner Messiah, and Commissioner Terry. And then I believe that Commissioner Terry and Mr. Welch were behind the scenes. And Commissioner Welch, County Attorney Welch and I had a meeting last week just talking about this item and how it could evolve into what we really do need. And so I really appreciate everybody investing some time and energy and providing these changes. And I will point out the second whereas. I really, again, the language, how you've reframed this, I think it makes a lot more sense and will satisfy the needs of the board moving forward. But to point out, the board desires to supplement and assist in the work of the Office of the County Attorney to ensure that the board's legislative initiatives, county code amendments, and policy actions are legally sound, consistent with Georgia law, and effectively advanced before the Georgia General Assembly and other relevant bodies. So you really kind of got to what I think was missing in the initial version of this. So thank you. So would you, I guess might be swifter if Attorney Welch walks us through it, because we're on a time schedule here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner. So as you noted, the main thrust of the changes here were to ensure that, at least from our perspective, the services you're asking for from, and we've retitled it a policy council, would be complementary to those services already provided by the county attorney's office and not duplicative or structured in a way that might cause initial conflict. And so the idea was just listening to the conversation that has gone on over the last year and understanding the needs of the board. This has been redrafted to primarily focus on policy, which you already have a great team doing policy work for you, but bringing in that additional expertise that comes with an attorney with potentially a policy background as well, to help with those initial drafts of policies, ordinance, and things of that nature that would then come through the Office of the County Attorney for review and support. So that's the basic thrust of what we've tried to do here, or what I tried to do in this first draft of a change, is again just to try to make it clear that this would be a first stop and an opportunity for you all to have internal conversations, and then refer those items out to the county attorney's office so the county attorney can meet the charge set forth in the organizational act for their office. There are a few other additional things that we noted that I think I included in a memo that we previously sent on this topic that we did not try to address here that might be of concern to the board. And those have a little bit more to do with kind of your inner workings, how work would be assigned to this individual, and what expectations would be. In a conversation within the last couple of weeks, I know there was, even among the board, while it seems to work great, a little bit of disagreement about what would happen if there was conflict in direction given to your policy staff or your chief of staff. And so you might want to consider things like that as this item moves forward, just to avoid any conflict and ensure that you're all on the same page in terms of expectations from whomever might sit in this seat. But at a high level, again, the idea here was simply to endeavor to make the services to be provided to your office complementary to those already provided by the county attorney's office.
Thank you very much for that. And again, I think this, the way that you have reformatted it really does speak to what our needs are and satisfies those needs. And I hear you loud and clear on there still being a couple of items that need to be addressed. But I believe that if this committee chooses to advance this item, those are issues we can visit at a later date. Thank you, sir. Yield back.
Okay, and I'll just highlight what I think is another key section, Section 2, which was, amended, and so there's been changes that says provide drafts. That's a key addition of ordinances, resolutions, and amendments for review and approval by the county attorney. So that's what Attorney Welch was getting at, sort of kind of a first crack at it. But then obviously the county attorney and the law department are vital to their role to approve the form and advise on the legality. The legal analysis of proposed or pending legislation to the board and the Office of County Attorney. So this just stipulates that the county attorney is involved in all of this. Conduct initial policy and legal research. So sometimes I think that's just kind of a helpful role there. Just do some high-level research, whether it's policy and or legal, and then it really kind of, hopefully, in my mind, would help position the county attorney's office, central staff, administration with some of that initial legwork that potentially could help expedite some of our policy work processes. And then again, I think the only other changes are just changing legislative to policy council, which I think was addressed earlier. So committee members, any additional questions, comments, thoughts on the red line version?
As Commissioner Johnson is still reviewing, I guess the final thing I'd like to say is, again, this position is to supplement the work of the county attorney's office, not supplant them. And I think that's important to point out. And again, I appreciate the woven into the position description is the policy and legal research, because that is something that has bogged me down in the past and would be so helpful. Thank you. Yield back.
All right.
I don't know that I have specific questions. I appreciate the law department helping you guys on this item. I think some of my overall concerns still exist. So it's the majority will of the committee.
Okay. I would suggest, so if we don't have any substantive changes to this, either we recommend approval or we simply just advance it to the full board for full consideration without a recommendation. I'm fine with either approach because ultimately I think this impacts all of us, and what I really hope the committee would do would just try to hone in on what hopefully could be kind of a consensus item. Of course, the other commissioners aren't here, so we can't ask them, but I think this is a consensus approach that would yield a majority. So if y'all are comfortable moving forward without a recommendation, to me that would be fine, and then we could, obviously have that discussion at next BOC meeting next week.
That's fine with me. I mean, I would be okay recommending for approval, but if we just want to advance it without a recommendation, that is fine too. But where I do agree with you wholeheartedly is this is a discussion that needs to be had with the full board, because this would impact every single office. So whichever path forward you'd like to take, I'm in support of. Mr. FAB Chair.
Okay.
I yield back.
And actually, let me just ask Chief of Staff McKenzie just a kind of a procedural question. So would you mind just thinking about sort of like when we add a new position, presumably it's all positions are under the Chief of Staff. So just because it was brought up, just to clarify sort of the structure in the event that this is approved and it would be implemented next year, most likely. Just do some thought on that, and if you want to put in writing kind of how the mechanism of and the hierarchy in the organization, I think that would be helpful context for next meeting.
And Commissioner Terry, if we do it just advances with no recommendation out of committee, just reminder is that we need to walk a substitute on at the board meeting.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you can't take a sub during committee, as I've learned.
Okay, and we can certainly ask the law department to take the red line version and turn it to a substitute version. To be ready. All right, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Do you want us to motion to advance it? So motion is to advance item 1534 to the full board without a formal recommendation out of committee.
I mean, I'm not in favor of this item, but if, I will second that so the full board can have their say on this item, and that's the only reason I'm seconding it.
Yes, understood. I think that's the intent, is that we're not making a formal recommendation, but we will, that way it doesn't stay in this committee.
I mean, but
I think we've done our work, so now
you could have seconded and still voted.
No, I know. But this way we're all doing it together.
Right, you're sucking me into something that I don't agree with, but.
That's all right, that's all right.
No,
We
it's
haven't,
not. But motion and second, let's
Okay.
move forward.
okay. All right, motion and second, and then we'll just for purposes of having a prepared substitute, the law department could adopt these changes. I don't think we had any additions or edits, so it was provided, and circulate with the whole board, if you don't mind. All right, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. All right, so just to close us out.
Do you want to go back to 1324, Commissioner Terry?
Oh, did we not?
Page 4,
1324.
the 9 positions for the DA's office. We have not gone through that one yet.
Sorry.
I don't know if she's present.
Of course she is.
There she is.
Yes.
Okay, we weren't going
All
to
right.
let us skip through that
Yes,
one.
sorry about that. I got my pages out of order. All right, so this is item 1324. This is creation of 9 positions in the district attorney's office as a critical budget request. And DA Boston is here to give us an updated request.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hit the little mic there.
There we go. Good afternoon. All right. So thank you so much for allowing me to come back to FAB because the last time I was here, we had a robust conversation about my items. And at the request of the committee, I stepped back to speak with the administration, just being cognizant of where we are financially and everything that's happening around us. And of course, as you know, I always like to be a good financial partner and a good steward of our finances. And so a couple of things. I think what happened in our last FAB meeting is that this committee approved the 3 operational positions to move forward to the board for a full vote and asked me to have further conversations about the 6 positions after submitting some information about our digital forensics issues happening in DeKalb. I stepped back to have a larger conversation about all 9 of these positions with the administration in light of the landscape that we're in. And so here is what we have discussed, and we're hoping that this committee will approve out to a full vote. I guess that would be on the 18th, which is next week. Because I wasn't sure what was going to be happening with these positions, we did go ahead and write them into our FY 2026 budget request that we submitted last week. In the interim, because many of these items were critical, I took a step back and said, out of the 9, if we can get 2 of these positions now and funded now, then I'm willing to hold the other positions for a much larger conversation during the FY 2026 budget process. So what I'd be asking this committee to do is to move forward on 2 positions. In the operations budget, we'd be asking us to move forward with our department IT specialist position. And that's primarily because, as you know, we have 1 IT specialist, and he's going to be going out on paternity leave in the spring, well before budget process, so we would be out for an extended period of time to cover our 300 employees, which would be very difficult operationally. So if we could get that position, and then under the digital forensics unit budget, if we could get the deputy chief investigator position, that would allow us to shift around and make some abilities to move forward and handle the work again until we can come back in the spring and look at the full budget as a whole. So I would be asking for those two positions, and I believe that we do have the support of the CEO's office for that particular recommendation.
Okay, great. All right, Commissioner Long-Spears.
All right. Always good to see you, DA Boston. Thank you for being with us. I knew you'd be here. Okay. So you said you've taken it from 9 to 2 positions. The IT specialist, totally and completely understand that. You absolutely need someone while he is out on paternity leave. The deputy chief investigator position, I guess that's correct?
Yes.
Is that a brand new position? Have we ever had that position before in DeKalb County?
Yes, we have these. This is a position that we have several of in our office.
Okay, so we just need an additional person.
Yes, we do. Within our digital forensics lab, yes.
Okay, and just caseload issues?
Yes, and I can forward you all the additional information that I provided attached to the original.
It's all here. I just don't have time to read it while you're standing up there.
Yep, attached to the original, you'll just see with the increase of the digital evidence and the work that our lab is taking on for all of our law enforcement partners, both state and federal and local and DKPD.
Okay.
We are just overwhelmed with those requests, but they're important requests, and we want to do the work. We just need more people to be able to get it done in a quicker manner and to keep up with what's coming in.
Okay, all right. So I am in support of both of those additions to your team. Sounds like you really need them both. The one thing I would encourage you to do, though, is exactly what we've been talking about, is make sure the substitute is walked on to or brought forward at the next business meeting on the 18th. Because right now the item, I think, does still have the 9 positions.
Okay.
So that will, yes. So 1324 still represents the creation of 9 positions. You'll need to
I will work
that.
to get that substitute over to staff and make sure that we have it teed up for November the 18th.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you so much. Yield back.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Any other questions, comments?
Just comment, I appreciate your willingness to have the conversation with the administration and adjust accordingly. It just shows leadership and that we're all trying to work together, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, absolutely. Concur with my colleagues. Okay, so commissioners, let's hear a motion reflecting what the district attorney has outlined, and then we'll, if approved, we'll get ready to prepare that substitute for next week.
All righty. Motion to approve item 1324 with a condition to amend from 9 positions to 2 positions in the district attorney's office as a critical budget request.
Second.
All right, and that's for the 1 IT position and 1 deputy chief investigator. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion
you.
carries. All right. Thank you, Madam DA. All right. And so just the final thing. So we did want to have a preliminary discussion on the budget process, which I believe we will have time for at either the special call meeting or the final meeting of the year. But one goal in that process, commissioners, was to preemptively work on our budget suggestions for the CEO budget consideration, which is due on December 10th.
That's what you said, yes.
Yes.
December 10th. And the special call is, what date did we call that? 9th?
Well, I think we were looking at 19th from 1:30 to 3.
Oh, November 19th. Never mind. We're good. Whew,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, TJ, come share
TJ?
your wisdom with us.
Yes. Good afternoon. So I just wanted to make one clarification. The budget is, the recommendations due December 15th.
15th, thank you. Sorry. Good, okay.
5 extra days.
I thought
That
I was wrong there because I looked at this. Okay.
Every
All right, so
little bit
December 15th is when the executive budget recommendation is due to the BOC. And I'll just share my experience. In the past, we sort of, the BOC kind of just receives it. But I think just in the interest of kind of keeping things moving and hopefully everyone's on the same page, what I would hope for is for there to be two requests. One request related to the BOC as a department. That is a department under TJ's sort of rubric of how he approaches the budget. And so when it comes to central staff, BOC, and commissioners' budgets, I think that's one request sort of tranche. And then just like we've done in previous years for other commissioner requests or budget priorities that we sort of tackle after the December 15th time period, I think it would be good to proactively submit those to the CEO for consideration and inclusion in her executive budget recommendation. So any questions, comments, thoughts on that plan, proposed plan?
I just wanted to clarify. I was writing as you were talking. So you would like from all the commissioners our budget request for central staff, BOC, and district offices, as TJ pointed out, by December 15th, right?
Well, I would like to have it for the net special call FAB meeting.
Okay, so that's November, what did we say it was? After the DeKalb Fire
19th.
Rescue Party.
Yes, the luncheon. Yeah, and that's just
November 19th.
because TJ, I guess has every department submitted their request to the CEO?
So the due date was Friday.
week, yeah.
There are a few departments that
Stragglers.
are still working.
Okay. All right, so we're right on time.
Okay, and to finish, so additional requests that would be part of the CEO's budget, you're wanting those by November 19th as well? Or do we have a little more wiggle room on that?
Well, I'm sure like the CEO, TJ will take him up to December 14th probably, but I imagine you probably want to get these things in order.
I would say the sooner the better,
Yeah.
Okay.
definitely. And so if possible by the 19th, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the concern is that we don't have a FAB meeting till December 9th, so that definitely would be too
It's a
late.
whole month without a FAB, yeah.
A whole month. I know, it's so sad. What are we going to do with our time? But I think, and because we haven't, this wouldn't really be a official board action. This is just more the committee, sending the recommendations to the CEO. So in a way, it's informal in the board sense, but it's formal in the committee sense. So we'll just, the administration will take it for what it is, which is just a recommendation from the FAB committee on behalf of all the commissioners.
So Commissioner Terry, my assumption is you're following a pretty similar process that we did for our budget amendment. We basically folded all the requests into one. Okay, great.
Yeah, but let's, between Chief of Staff McKenzie and commissioners thinking about the BOC
Sure.
budget, staff, and our offices, that's one tranche, and then all the other budget
Understood.
recommendations as just to have two separate spreadsheets, basically.
I have a follow-up question. I think this might be opportune to ask. When we were going through our mid-year budgets, we held a lot of the CIP projects.
Mm-hmm.
When do we anticipate talking about that? My understanding is that we would have that conversation in December.
Yes, and those were received by the administration
back in the
as
summer.
consideration for the 5-year CIP. Is that right,
Correct.
TJ?
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of where we are, we had a meeting of the CIP committee last week to review the scores.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what we'll be doing is we will have recommendation for projects to be funded out of the FY26 budget. I think we'll need additional time to develop the 5-year CIP.
Understood. Okay, so in other words, that the list of CIP requested projects from the mid-year is being reviewed and and for consideration, at least in the short term, for FY26 budget.
Correct. And CEO pointed out that, the jail projects, those are moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And also going through the
Movement
projects, there might be some that we bring forward before the end of the year as well.
Okay.
And
Yes, go ahead.
when could we see that list of how the scoring went and what might get included in FY26?
So the scoring right now is just kind of a raw score. And what will eventually be part of the recommendation is going to be, of course, with the recommendation.
Okay.
And so, I think we can maybe provide that, but it might not be the most helpful document in terms of what the eventual list will look like.
Understood. Okay, thank you.
Follow up?
Yes.
You said that you would need additional time for the full 5-year CIP. Does that mean by the end of Q1 next year, or by 2020, the end of 2026?
Right.
What do you
I
mean
mean,
by additional time?
That's hard to say, but I would hope that it would be before mid-year next year.
Okay, so just mental note to self, by June 30th, end of Q2 next year, hopefully.
Hopefully,
Or
yes.
a North Star to shoot for with our CIP list.
And Mr. Williams just reminded me as well that the facilities master plan is in progress. So once that is ready, that's going to help to inform the process as well.
Okay. May I ask another question? Not
Yes.
necessarily entirely germane here, but it has been brought up to Mr. Williams, and everybody knows this. In the plan for the Maloof renovation, the facilities plan, has it been woven in for us to update our equipment up here and our software package that we use?
I don't believe so, but
Oh, no,
defer
no,
to
no, that's not
Zach.
good. Okay, we'll have to get on that quickly.
Need IT
Because
to
it's
tell us about that.
slowly corroding up here.
Right.
Okay.
They're looking at it, so.
We are with, what's the vendor?
Granicus.
Granicus, yes, with
Yeah, they have
Granicus.
an upgrade option, but
Yeah, ours is
I would
very
suggest we do an
old.
RFP ASAP and just see what else is out there.
There are other vendors that do the same thing. Okay, thank you. Yield
That's my
back.
opinion. That's my 2 cents for,
I don't want
for
it
everyone in
necessarily
charge of
germane,
looking at that issue for
but
2
we need
years. So let's just do an RFP and see who does it, who is the best. Let them compete, but let's not wait 6 months to decide if we're going to do RFP. Let's just do it. Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I know the pay and class study is underway. Do we have a timeline of when that might end and how that plays into the FY26 budget?
Right, so unfortunately, it won't play en masse into the 2026 budget. We don't anticipate that being done. I think at the earliest is late summer next year, from memory. So it will be well past that and probably even past mid-year. But we are always looking at business units or, where we have specific challenges on recruitment. We're not opposed to taking those either out of sequence or conducting separate comparisons to see if we need to make adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely. And TJ, I imagine part of just the CIP forecasting, because part of it is SPLOST funding, but also other just would be general fund. You're waiting to see economic indicators, and so mid-year would be a good barometer to see how the property values are looking in DeKalb in 2026.
Right. I mean, I think that will be helpful in terms of doing a more comprehensive list for the CIP.
Okay. And are y'all in the posture, again, as you did at the beginning of this year, to be more steady as you go until mid-year?
I would, that hasn't been decided, but I would think so, just based on the economy.
Okay.
That probably what will be, I know part of what the instructions that we gave to departments is to look very closely at your current operations to see if you can find efficiencies, because I don't think there's going to be a lot of new dollars to go around. So if there are critical things, if we can find savings in the current budget, that's probably going to be the first place we look.
Okay. Well, I just think that's important for, obviously communicate to departments, but to commissioners as well, just so we can, sort of measure our requests and priorities, to the realities of what we might be facing next year, and you never know, right? So it's to be determined.
Yeah, and I'll just to share specifically my conversations with the CEO and looking at the economic reality that we're in and the potential economic future. We are all anticipating headwinds, and so the expectation is that we are fiscally conservative, that we are, as TJ said, looking within our operation for efficiencies. We are measuring any request based on the outcome. What is it that we hope to achieve? But the expectation is that we will not be allocating new dollars except in those situations where it's unavoidable.
Understood. Okay, great. So, commissioners, are y'all good with that plan of action? Okay. So, if it's okay, Chief of Staff McKenzie and Jessica, if y'all could just kind of capture those requests and send it to all the commissioners, and offices. And of course, I think when we said the BOC budget, we meant the clerk's office as well, just, one sort of unit. And so if y'all don't mind, I guess between presiding officer and chief of staff, and let's think about the BOC budget as one discussion, and then commissioner requests. And so let's look at two separate spreadsheets. And if we could have that request go out ASAP, and I believe if it works for everyone, we'll aim for that November 19th special call FAB meeting where we will discuss all of that. And if we feel ready, we can make a recommendation based on those requests. All right, I see heads nodding. Looks good.
Ready?
Yes, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.